I think the Women's History Museum is so important because women need to see themselves in the possible, and you have to see it to be it. And if you stand on the shoulders of these grand, I call them daring dames, they inspire and they show you what's possible, and they allow you to value and acknowledge and celebrate those on whose shoulders we stand on. It's powerful.
What women inspire you?
Oh my gosh,
Past and present.
well, there are so many women that inspire me. They inspired me to go in the career and the journey that I've gone on my whole life. A woman named Oriana Fallaci, she was a journalist I deeply admired because she spoke truth to power and fought against fascist regimes with her pen and paper. And she was daring and courageous and brave. And I admire people like Margaret Burke White, who was a photographer, a documentarian, who was on Stalin's tank and covered the liberation of Buchenwald and allowed the world to see the emaciated prisoners and the treatment that they endured. She was at Gandhi's prayer wheel and photographed him, one of the only photographers ever to do so. So these beautiful women who came before me, who broke all barriers and showed that storytelling and with pictures and words mattered, that it told the world what was happening. That inspired me. Dolores Huerta, I'm Latina. Dolores Huerta, I looked up to her. There weren't many of me on the air or on magazines, Latinas, who I could look up to. And there she was fighting along Cesar Chavez, not behind him, but alongside him. She is just as responsible for the Farm Workers Union and the movement than Cesar was. So it's important to celebrate these women, and the History Museum gives us sacred space to do so.
What voices are inspiring you today, male or female?
Oh, so many voices inspire me. Michelle Obama, who says if half the women of the world are not Michelle Obama, because she says if half the world's population, which are women, aren't acknowledged or celebrated or given worth, then our society is weaker, not stronger. Melinda Gates, who is putting her money where her mouth is and really investing in girls' education throughout the globe. Mae Musk, the mother of Elon Musk, who just wrote a book called A Woman Makes a Plan, which I'm gobbling up because she's a supermodel at 71. She's ageless and timeless. Andy McDowell, the face of L'Oreal for 33 years, another. I can go on and on. Men and women, President Obama, um, the greats who called for equality. Martin Luther King said, the arc of moral justice is long, but bends. The arc of the moral universe is long, but bends towards justice. And I think women just have to push it along a little bit more.
And one last question. What do you want for the women, the generation that's about to come? What do you want them to see in this museum?
What I long for my daughter, who I adopted from Guatemala. She's now 13 and says, what do you mean, Mom, that women soccer players don't get the same pay as men? It's ridiculous, and it's so ridiculous in her eyes, she doesn't get it. I would like them to see in this museum women who stood up and fought for what was right. And even though the times didn't allow it, they fought and persevered and gained strides. And I want my daughter to be inspired by the activism of these great daring dames so that she will follow not only in their footsteps, but pave a whole new path forward so that we finally have equity and parity and what should be normal, because we human beings are all one, right?
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
My
Your answers
pleasure.
are so beautiful.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
running over there. Can you hold this?
Sure.